if I could say one thing, what Pathway has done, it's actually opened the door for conversations, on a more regular basis that are very focused and aligned on what our child might do as a student when he goes to third level of education.
This was a tool which we thought would verify where she was going, or just maybe reconfirm that she was going down the right path, which it more or less did do. It kind of reconfirmed that she was in the right direction, but it also opened up a lot more options for her. And it was, I think the analytical aspect to it was very good, which you probably wouldn't get on a one-on-one conversation with a career guidance teacher.
So, I mean, it's rare that a student knows what they actually want to do in life. So this actually helped him to see options.
Pathways, well, it definitely gives for parents to feel more confident that a child is going to make a good decision, because it's focusing on what they like, which is, I think, to me, number one, what you like and what you're good at, and what will if you're good at something, or if you like something, it comes easy, and there's a flow then in the choice.
Yeah, I think parents are very concerned to do the best for their children, and they want to put them on the right pathway in life. And I think anything that gives them guidance that helps them to determine the choices, or to help the child determine the choices, is going to be helpful.
What was great is that it had the knowledge of a wide range of college courses. So we may not have had that, but it would have taken a lot of time to explore all the different options. It certainly highlighted for Avril some courses that we hadn't considered, so that's good. And it's all in a compact report that's very useful for us to refer to.
I haven't done much surveys in the past, but from ones I have done, I think it was a lot more trustworthy. I definitely trusted the questions more, and I could see why they would give me the results.
It was very good, very helpful, and I've actually learned a lot just from doing a survey like this.
I thought it was really helpful for when I was choosing my subjects for fifth year, because it helped me. If I wanted to do a science course, I'd need specific sciences, and that would help me for choosing my subjects, because we're only allowed to do 8. So.
Well, it was really accurate. I found that when it went through all my interests and my favourite subjects, and it compounded them all, it was very accurate in my decision-making style, the outcome of it.
I think for the first time it gave him an opportunity to see what are the options for him, because up to now it's not something he had thought about, something he had considered, and all of a sudden, out of the blue, 12 options for his future career appeared. So it created kind of an interesting conversation.
It helps you to, it guides you on what you want to do. It gives you a better picture of all the courses and what they entail.
What I realised was that now he has a voice. He's talking about it. It's his input, his choices, and he realises that he can make these decisions.
I didn't know I was just a directive. I'm just plain directive, which is straight to the point, but I actually never knew that about myself, and it's good to know now.
It's a three-way conversation, because my wife Finola, my son Tig, and I, all of a sudden we're having conversations we never had before. And particularly at the moment in a stressful time, it's great to have something else to talk about, positive about the future, to look forward to what's to come.
Well, I learned a lot about Avril from the process. I learned things that I didn't understand about Avril, and I learned a little bit about what she was good at, as opposed to what I thought she was good at. And I think that's why the Pathway course was useful.
Yeah, I didn't realise that I was a directive person or a caring person, but it kind of made me realise that I was. And it was just helpful overall, just in seeing what you're like as a person and what interests, what would suit you best.
I'd be very conscious of them liking what they do, because so many children start third level, and by Christmas they've decided they hate their course, and it's already cost a whole thousands it costs.
I was kind of intrigued by it, really, because I hadn't a clue. I didn't really know what to expect from it. I didn't know whether it was going to be accurate, or what kind of questions I was going to be asked. And the questions, they were all simple questions, things that you know about yourself. It's just you wouldn't ever think to combine them to produce this outcome.
We want Anya to do what's right for herself, and then if she's comfortable with it, we're comfortable with it, right? So anything that can help in getting her decision making right, is key for us as well, you know.
Kind of made sense once it was like shown to me that I am an analytical person. It kind of did like click with me then that I was. And like even small things like friends coming to me for advice, like, you know, like they would do that in general, and so yeah, it kind of made sense to me afterwards.
The questions were a mix of like personal and academic questions, so they kind of made more sense to me, and they were all quite creative.
You should definitely take time to answer them because it's worth it for the result. But it gives you a lot of variety of questions that you'd ask about yourself and what are your favourite subjects.
As everybody knows, you know, your teenage kids don't really want to listen to what the parents are saying. So it's taken that out of our hands. So it's an aid and it's assisting parents, which is great.
It helped her make an informed decision, and obviously an informed decision is a good decision.
They were kind of just saying keep it varied for your subjects so that you could have all the options in college. Like if you wanted to do business degree, like you'd have a business subject, but if you want to do science, you'd have a few science subjects as well.
I could only be happy if she's comfortable and happy in what she's learning at school, and she can only learn if she's happy doing the subjects that she's doing.
So a couple of them I obviously had considered before, and then they kind of came up on the report, but some I hadn't even thought about at all, and then they came up, so that's kind of like a nice surprise. Like journalism and new media, I would never have considered that before, but then that came up on my report and I could see why it did.
It definitely gave me a lot more to think about, like the amount of careers that were offered to me. It was some that I had never considered, but now I definitely am considering them. So for example, neuroscience and radiography. I hadn't really thought about doing them before, but like it made me do my research into them, like thinking that I was suited to these careers.
Afterwards, when we were doing the analytics afterwards, I'm an engineer myself, so I'm very analytical. So you could understand how that tool could create that outcome, and from that point of view, I thought it was very, very powerful. I thought it was a very good tool.
Yeah, no, I definitely would recommend it because it definitely, like the analyticals of it, like when they combine, like you don't expect the outcome of it. You know, like saying that my favorite subject is chemistry and biology, and like the amount of careers that are given to you to do with these two subjects alone is crazy. You wouldn't, like, yeah, I didn't think there would be that many options, but yeah, it's definitely very good.
I think it makes sense, like they start off, the way it starts off to the way it goes, it's in the right order, and I think I enjoyed doing it that way. Well, I thought it was really cool, like it's kind of like you'd never come across anything like it before, and it was quite different, so I think that was a good aspect to it.
It's enabled us to have a conversation with him about focus. You know, if you want to achieve your goal of getting into that course, then you might need to work a bit harder. So it's really helped us in conversation terms.
We felt that it was a support to us, the whole process, because we'll be happy now to support his choices. We know that it's come from a good source, and if that's the path he wants to go down, he's making informed decisions. So therefore, we have to support that, and we're very comfortable in doing that.
It's helped him establish his goals, because now for the next 2 years, he can map out and select the right subjects at his school that match with the courses he wants to go with.
The biggest thing that Pathway did personally for me is just help me decide on what I want to do. It just makes everything way more clear for my future.
Yeah, it's like this is the first step to a portal of the future education for our son. We're not sure where it ends up, but at least he's now aligned in the right direction, we think.